Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, March 6th, and today we will continue on sections 8.3. So I have already graded the quiz. The midterm grades is due next week, also your spring break. So I hope like this week. Hello, bless you. So bless you. Bless you. Okay. Yep. So the midterm grade is due next week. So I hope like this week you can check your grades and look at your homework and the self-assessments. If you miss some homework assignments, or you want to improve your homework scores, you can continue to the unlimited attempts to work on your homework and improve your score. And also the self-assessment include the practice exams, exam correction, and wrapper. So if you haven't submitted your exam correction and wrapper, please submit those. And if you don't get 10 points on the practice exams or exam correction and wrapper, it means you missed something. So please resubmit to get the points back. Okay? So yes, so that is the self-assessment. And let's talk about the quiz. So the quiz solution is right here. Hello. Okay, so the first problem is ask you to sketch the graph. And the first step is you look at, this is a sine function. So you put a table with 4 columns, x, theta, sine theta, and a y. So the theta and sine theta, the middle 2 columns are fixed. Remember those 5 key points? And after you fill out the theta and sine theta column, to find the x, look at your theta. The theta is the angle. The argument is 3x plus pi. And then when you solve for x, you subtract pi on both sides and divide it by 3. So this is the formula of x in terms of theta. And then you plug in different values of theta, and this is what you get. And how to find the y? You get y is negative sine theta plus 5, and you know sine theta is those 5 numbers you plug in and get the y values. And the last step, you look at the x values and the y values, and plot the points on the xy plane, and then connect the points smoothly. That is the first problem. The second problem, the method are similar, right? We write down the theta and tangent theta column. And the theta starts with negative pi over 2. And it goes up to pi over 2. So that's why the period for tangent is pi. But then when you divide it by the coefficient of x, which is 2 pi, so we get the period is 1/2. Oh, I forgot to say, problem 1, the amplitude is 1, not negative 1. Amplitude is always positive. You're actually looking at the absolute value of the number multiplied by the trig function. And the period is 2 pi over 3. And period is also positive. Okay, so if you have minus sign in front of 3x, then you're doing 2 pi over absolute value of negative 3. Is that clear, everybody? Your amplitude and your period, they are positive. Okay, and continue the second problem. Yes, so after you plug in theta and tangent theta, those 5 key points. By the way, remember today I will give you this worksheet to fill out. And then you can find the x. So theta is 2 pi times x. So x is theta divided by 2 pi. Not subtract because this is multiplication, not addition. So be careful. And therefore we get the numbers. So this problem, you see the x values, they don't have pi because the pi cancel with the denominator, 2 pi. And then the y is you plug in your tangent theta and you get the y. And then when you look at the x values, you see the biggest is 1/4. The smallest is negative 1/4. So when you draw the xy plane, the values, biggest 1/4, smallest is negative 1/4. Okay, so draw it bigger. Okay, don't draw it too tiny, otherwise it's hard to see. So spread it. So negative 1/4 and 1/4. And then, so negative 1/4 undefined vertical asymptotes. Negative 1/8 is the middle of negative 1/4 and 0. The middle here, the y value is negative 4. And when x is 0, we get negative 1. And when x is 1/8, we get 2. Okay, everybody? And when x is 1/4, we get undefined, which is the vertical asymptotes. So far, so good, everybody? All right. So, yeah, what happened to other students? I hope they will watch the recording. Yes. Okay, so let's look at the mistake. So learn from the mistake and do well on the actual exam. Okay, so the first problem, amplitude, positive. The absolute value of negative 1. So it's 1. Second problem, not subtract, divide, because this is multiplication, so we divide it by 2 pi. Okay, so each problem is 5 points. So one column is like 1 point. And so here, yeah, this setup is right. So you plug in sine theta is 0. So minus 0 plus 5 is 5. And here you plug in sine theta is 1. So negative 1 plus 5 is 4. So the values are not correct. So the graph is not correct. Okay. And here, the formula is correct. And then, so the pi and the pi cancel. So you only get negative 1/4. And then negative 1/8 and 1/8 and 1/4. So if you come in late, I hope you can watch the recording to catch up the first 8 minutes. Okay, and here, the table is correct. Everybody look at me. The table is correct. So plug the points and connect them smoothly. And you can see here, look at your x values. It's negative 1/4 to 1/4. So when you draw the xy plane, don't draw these pi. Look at what your x values look like. And so negative 1/4 and negative 1/8, 0, 1/8, 1/4. Because it really depends on your x values. Maybe your x values is like 0 to 100 to 200. Then you draw those scale. Yes.
So you're just putting on the graph those points. Then how do you have 2 periods? Because like in the questions, you always ask you to do 2 periods.
Oh, so you draw 1 period, then you copy and paste, draw another one. Like here. So let me give you the attendance sheets before I forget. Thank you. Okay, so what I did, I plot the points and I draw 1 period. The second period is just estimates. So after you do this, you kind of estimate, okay, my point is here, and this point is here, and this point is here, and then we connect them.
So you don't have to just write the whole graph.
Exactly. So just 5 points for one period. And then the second period, you just copy and paste estimates. Is that clear, everybody? So please watch the recording for the parts you missed. Okay, and here the mistake is 1 plus 5 is 6. Yeah, 6. So when you plug them, 6 is up here. So connect them. Okay, yes. So this file has everybody's mistake. So I hope you can, after you get home, look at your mistake and then make corrections. Here, tangent. Negative pi by 4 is negative 1. And here, the table is fine. But when you draw it, look at your scale. Your biggest is 1/4. So make your scale bigger. So 1/4 is here, negative 1/4 is here. Then you can draw the picture better. Okay. And here, negative sign here. So that's why, negative sign. That's very important. Okay. See, what did the negative sign do in front of the sign? It flip it over the x-axis, right? And then so this guy is actually, you flip it over the x-axis and then you move up 5 units. So that's why the graph is like you flip it over. Okay, that's the negative sign in front of the sign. Here, this is 6. Yeah, negative 1. So that's why the graph. Amplitude, always positive. And here, what is the formula of x? So solve for x in terms of theta, and then find the x values. Okay. And then here, let's see. All right, the table is correct. But when you put the number, see, negative 1/8 is negative 4. So don't look at the tangent theta values. Look at the x values and the y values. Okay. Yes. It's very easy to look at the wrong column. Be careful. And then here, the setup is wrong. So theta and sine theta, these are not the 5 key points we have. So we must start with the middle column. This is always the same. And then find the x and y column. And also here, the setup, you can use this setup. Yeah, that's fine. But then it's going to be this part instead of a shape like this. Okay. But then the x value is not correct. Here, the mistake, negative 1 plus 5 is 4. And so that's why this is the picture. Okay. And here, the theta and sine theta is correct, but the x and y is wrong. Okay, so I hope all of you, if you don't understand something, come to see me. I strongly encourage you to come to see me. Okay. So, and here the x is not correct. So come to see me. So we went over the quiz solution. Come to see me. Okay, if you don't understand. And then here, the setup is right. But then what is this number? What is this number? Calculate those. And here, there's a negative sign. So, and the graph, it looks good. Okay. Let me see. Oh, the graph is not look good because the x values are not correct. And the period is not correct. Okay. So yes. So make corrections on your quiz. And if you have questions, please come to see me. Here is a minus sign. So it's actually flip. Okay. And then here, this first number is wrong, and these, yes. So be careful. You know you can use calculator to check your work, right? For the x values. So we learn from the mistake, and I hope you can do well on the exam. So in the exam, you have three problems like this. One problem is either sine or cosine. The second problem, either tangent or cotangent. The third problem, either secant or cosecant. Is that clear, everybody? Okay, so that is the quiz. All right, now close your notes and fill out this sheet. Okay, spend 5 minutes. Okay, to fill out the sheet. Oh, thank you. So, which way? This way? Oh, no, you got it? Oh, everybody finished? Okay, good. So let me see. The two of you, yeah, close your notes. And three.
So what sheet were we taking?
8.2. Yeah. Oh. Jeremy, let me print out for you so you can do the worksheet.
Are you having a little set up?
Oh, there? Oh, okay.
I refilled the worksheet
Oh,
at home.
okay. So increase your speed.
just so if you just remember is it just is it
Yes, where we and over two, the second is two, and the end over two, and we pick the ends, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
and then lines up with each of these.
Yeah.
And so 30.
Yeah, 30, 45 minutes. And these can have to be in the first row. Second row is the same number, but reverse number. And then the tangent is
That mess with
All right. Finished? Everybody?
and then, so I do put you to get another class. You come to a single class after feel you're ready to practice again.
Okay, so please give me your worksheet. Again, if you couldn't fill those out, it's okay. This is not like graded or record the scores or anything. Yes, they write your name. I just want to see how you're doing. If you don't get them all correct, I will ask you to come to my office and practice again. Okay? So, finish. Thank you. Yes, yes. My office hours today is from 11 to 1:50, and also Friday is also Wednesday and Friday 11 to 1:50 and 3:10 to 5. Okay. But this afternoon I have meeting at 4. Okay. So yes, email me. Right. So right now I get 4. Okay. So I hope all of you can. Okay. Thank you. Yes. So this is the basic of our chapter 8. Okay. So now let's continue. Right. So be familiar with all the trig graphs. And last time we talked about the inverse trig graphs. So what do is inverse trig graphs. So for the x of the trig functions corresponds to the y of the inverse trig function. So what you do is you kind of look at the graph of the trig functions and look at and set the y value equals some number and find the corresponding x. And the 6 trig functions and try to express everything in terms of inverse sign. inverse cosine, inverse tangent, and inverse cotangent. That means if you see inverse secant, look at me, if you see inverse secant, that is inverse cosine of 1 over x. And if you see inverse cosecant, that is inverse sine of 1 over x. Because sine is 1 over cosecant, and cosine is 1 over secant. Is that okay, everybody? Mm-hmm. And last time we did 1, 2. Let's do 3 today. Okay. So let's see. We have secant. So if we see secant, what do we do? Cosine is cosine of 1 over 2. So yeah, express everything in terms of what? Sine, arcsine, arccosine, arctangent, arcotangent. If you have arcsecant, that is arccosine of 1/2. Now you only need to draw the graph of cosine. So what's the graph of cosine? Yeah, it's wave. Sine, cosine, they're wave. And cosine start with 1. Okay? So you gotta be familiar with the graph. Okay, so this is the graph. And 1/2. So we know that the x of the arc cosine, it corresponds to the y of the cosine because they are inverse functions. Thank you. That's why we only need to draw the graph of cosine. We don't need to draw the graph of arc cosine. Okay, so here is like we let y equals 1/2. And we want to find the x in interval for cosine. The 1 to 1 piece we look at is from 0 to pi. Remember the 1 to 1 piece? We have to restrict the domain to 1 to 1 piece. Then we can find the inverse function. We must start with a 1 to 1 function. Okay. So let's see. We have okay. Let's use how about blue color? So the y is 1/2. Okay, this is 1/2. But you're looking at the x. You're looking at the x. So what is this number? Remember when we draw this graph, we only draw those 5 key points. But when we want to evaluate the trig values, we actually need more points. Okay, how do you draw more points? You know the middle is pi over 4. Yeah, the middle between 0 and pi over 2 is pi over 4. And then you cut it into 3 pieces. The smaller piece is pi over... What's the common angle value? Yeah, pi over 6. And the bigger piece is pi over 3. Yes, everybody? So that is y here. Find the x. What is the x? Pi over 3. So x is pi over 3. Is that okay, everybody? So first, what do we do? If you see arcsecant, express this in terms of arc cosine, and it's 1/2. Then we draw the graph of cosine, and the x, see, this is like the x, the input of the arc cosine. It corresponds to the output, the y of the cosine. This is the property of inverse function. Yes, everybody? So we said the y is 1/2. and you want to find what is the corresponding x. Okay, therefore, we find this point, the corresponding x is right here. And you need to draw the graph bigger, because in the first quadrant, the middle is pi over 4, and then you divide it into 3 pieces. The smaller piece is pi over 6. The bigger piece is pi over 3. Okay? And so therefore, the arc cosine 1/2 is pi over 3. If I ask you what's arc cosine of root 2 over 2? Root 2 over 2 is pi over 4. Root 3 over 2? Pi over 6. Right, everybody? How about negative? Okay, let me ask you more. So, how about the negative? Arc cosine negative root 2 over 2. So, negative, it corresponds to the second quadrant. Can you see that? The second quadrant. And the middle point here is going to be what? 3 pi over 4. Yes. Everybody? 3 pi over 4. Okay, again, why? Between pi over 2 and the pi, right? Pi over 2 is like 2 pi over 4. Pi is 4 pi over 4. The middle is 3 pi over 4. And you also can divide it into 3 pieces. The left piece is 2 pi over 3. And the right piece is 5 pi over 6. Therefore, the negative root 2 over 2, okay, the patterns, these ones. These 3 values. This one corresponds to negative 1/2. This one corresponds to negative root 2 over 2. And that one? Negative root 3 over 2. Exactly. So negative root 2 over 2 is going to correspond to 2 pi. Exactly. Very good. Okay. So we draw more if you want to find the inverse values. So some problem in the exam, it asks you to find the exact value without a calculator. This is the work you need to show. And there are also some problems ask you to find the values with a calculator. Okay, now with a calculator, what do? Take out your calculator. Everybody take out your calculator. Yes, right. Your calculator only has a sine, a cosine, and a tangent. You don't see a secant, a cosecant, or a cotangent. Right, everybody? Do you realize that? So in this case, if you can use your calculator, you're going to express everything in terms of arc, cosine, arc sine, and arc tangent. And let's check our range for it. So what is the range? Okay, so arc secant. What does arc secant look like? This is arc secant. Look at the range. Do you see the range is from 0 to pi over 2, and then you don't include pi over 2, and then pi over 2 to pi, everybody? So the range of our secant is, okay, where is it? Oh, here. Okay, so the range of our secant is 0 to pi over 2, union pi over 2 to pi. Okay, and how about the range of cosecant? Okay, so this is the range of cosecant. Oh, sorry. No, not cosecant. The range of arc cosine. Okay. Arc cosine. You draw the picture of
the cosine, and you know the domain of this one-to-one piece is corresponds to the range of the arc cosine. So in this case, the arc cosine has range 0 to pi. Okay, that's the range. So therefore, the values are kind of like similar, right? The both near 0 to pi, and therefore when you compute the calculator, your arc secant is just arc cosine of 1 over u. So whatever u here, just put it 1 over u, and use the arc cosine method. How about arc cosecant? Well, look at the picture of arc cosecant. What's the range? Negative pi over 2 to 0, right? Not including the 0, and then 0 to pi over 2. So the range is now negative pi over 2 to 0, but not including the 0, and 0 to pi over 2. Okay. How about the arc sine? The arc sine. Well, arc sine, you look at the sine, and then you look at the one-to-one piece. Do you see this one-to-one piece is from minus pi over 2 to pi over 2? Yeah? And you flip it over across the line y equals x. So you get the range of the arc sine is minus pi over 2 to pi over 2. Do you see that kind of similar? Like both near the range from minus pi over 2 to pi over 2? That's why the arc cosecant u is arc sine 1 over u. This is no problem. But the cotangent and tangent, the arc cotangent and arc tangent will be a problem. The range of arc cotangent. Look at this. This is from where? 0 to pi. Can you see from the picture? The range is 0 to pi, not including the endpoint. So 0 to pi. But the tangent, arc tangent. Okay, what's arc tangent? You look at the tangent, and the tangent is from minus pi over 2 to pi over 2. And then you flip it across the line y equals x. Therefore, the range of the arc tangent, it corresponds to the domain of this piece, this one-to-one piece. So therefore, for arc tangent, the range is minus pi over 2 to pi over 2. So you see they are different. That's why we have split in two cases. In the first quadrant, that is from 0 to pi over 2. Yeah? Your arc cotangent u is arc tangent 1 over u in the first quadrant. Make sense, everybody? But in the second quadrant, see, your arc cotangent, second quadrant, is pi over 2 to pi. But it corresponds to the negative values. So when u is negative, your arc tangent is actually from negative pi over 2 to 0. It's not the same range of the angle. Right, everybody? Mm-hmm. So that's why we need to add the pi. Okay? You see? Because here is from negative pi over 2 to 0. But when you add pi to it, it becomes what? Sorry, I should not. Yes. Let's look at just the parenthesis. Yeah, don't include the endpoint. When you add pi to it, it becomes is like pi over 2 to pi. Are you okay with my notation like this? I mean, if x is between negative pi over 2 to 0, when you add pi to each term, right? So, okay, x is between negative pi over 2 to 0. When you add pi, then you get pi over 2 less than x plus pi less than pi.
So adding pi can make sure you have the angle ranges between pi over 2 to pi. Then you get this guy is in the range of the arc cotangent. So you need this trick when you use your calculator to compute the arc cotangent. You need to see whether the u is positive or negative, and then you decide the values. Is that clear, everybody? Mm-hmm. Yes. So now let's look at the calculator. So arc cotangent 2.5. Because 2.5 is positive. According to our formula, this is what? Arctangent of 1 over 2.5. And now everybody, you take out your calculator. Put this number in your calculator. 4 decimal places. And please make sure you use radian mode. Okay, so use radian mode, and what do you get? Thank you. Do you all have the same answer? Mm-hmm. Yes, so this is how you use your calculator, okay? Right, just look at that, whether it's positive or negative, and determine which formula to use. Okay, how about when the u is negative? Look at our formula. Yeah, it's negative, so the arc cotangent angle should lie in pi over 2 to pi. But the arctangent will be between negative pi over 2 to 0. That's why you need to add the pi.
Suki, we
Yes?
don't have that one.
Huh?
We don't have that one.
Do you have that one? Oh, because you have the old version. The updated version has it. So refresh the page of the website. Yes, refresh the page of the website. So this is a tangent 1 over negative 2.5. And we want to add the pi to it. Okay, plug this in your calculator. What do you get? And you add pi. So remember your range must be between 0 to pi, so your range is positive. When you apply the arctangent of 1 over negative 2.5, you get a negative number. That's why you need to add pi to make it positive. So what do you get? A 2.711. Thank you. Is that okay, everybody? Yes, keep that in mind. Now, how about arc secant? Arc cosine of what? 1 over 3 over 7. Oh, it's undefined. Again, why? The cosine is oscillating between -1 and 1. Can you have your y value bigger than 1? No. So this is undefined. Very good. How about arc cosecant, negative 15.8? Yeah, arc sine, and 1 over this number. Yeah, because your cosine, remember your cosine is oscillating between 1 and negative 1. So 7 over 3 is bigger than 1. So it's like you let your y is 7 over 3. Do you see there's no intersection with the graph? So therefore this is undefined. No x can make the cosine x equals to that number. All right, how about now arc sine of 1 over negative 15.8? Oh, okay. Like that? 3, 3? Okay, yes. So this is how to use your calculator. Okay, so in the exam, I will ask you both type of problems. Without a calculator, then you need to express in terms of arc sine, arc cosine, arc tangent, and arc cotangent. And then you use those graphs of the sine, cosine, tangent, cotangent, set the y values, find the corresponding x values. And when I ask you to use your calculator, then you just use the formula and put into your calculator. Okay, so have a nice day. So study hard, take notes, come to my office hours. I really want to help you and do well on your exam too. Bye. Okay. Oh, so it matters. These okay. And these one, remember the rule is square root of n/2. Okay, so this section you want to turn it into bigger. That this section you need those bigger values. Because these values, then if you like zoom in the first quadrant, then you can evaluate the inverse trick values. Okay, so the rule for the first row is square root of n/2, and you let the n to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can show you here. Okay, this is the pattern. Just remember this one. Then you plug in n as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see when you plug in 0, you get 0. When you plug in 1, you get 1/2. When you plug in 2, root 2 over 2. When you plug in 3, root 3 over 2. When you plug in 4, square root of 4 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. So that takes care of the first row. The second row, same number as the first row, but we reverse the order. So you get these. And this is sine over cosine. Using this number divided by that number, 0 over 1 is 0. 1/2 over this is that. You get 1 over 3. And then that's why you get this. And cotangent, same number as tangent, but reverse order. Secant, 1 over cosine. Where's cosine? Here. The 1 over 1 is that. And then you put the numerator and denominator. And cosecant, same number, but reverse the order. So just remember one thing, and then you can find all the others.
And also the degree as well.
Oh yes, also the degree.
Exam 2 is the week after break, right?
Yes.
On Wednesday?
It's the Monday, the 2 weeks after the break. So,
2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. So, because I will make a study session that week, so you guys can come and
Yeah, 'cause
study.
I have a competition over break, so I'll be able to study. So that helps
Oh,
me a lot.
yeah.
So I'll actually be able to study. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So then I looked ahead a little bit, and I saw that there was like exam 1 week after another exam. Like, so I think it was near the very end. You scroll down.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's like, like 2 exams. So is exam 4 going to be small? Because you have exam 3, then also 1 week, and then another exam and another exam. Is it going to be a small?
Yeah, exam 4 just cover 3 sessions. 10.1, 10.2, and 10.8.
Okay, I was just curious because I was like, that's going to be a pretty stressful week.
Yes. And the final is everything,
Yeah.
but because you already studied exam 4, so you kind of just need to prepare exam 1, 2, 3 for your final if you still remember exam 4 stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm not going to be here Friday
Oh,
because I'm traveling for baseball.
okay.
We're
So-
leaving Thursday.
Okay, I see. Thank you for telling me. And so I hope you can, the blank worksheets and then take notes.
Blank.
Oh, I mean these ones, the blank
Oh,
ones,
the notes.
and then you can take notes because so, I really hope you can understand like every problem. Because when you do the notes, you can try to follow. What I did. How do we get these numbers?
Yeah.
Then if you have questions, you can ask me. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Cheers. Bye.